here we are, the continuation of this project. So far we've removed all of the tile. We've done a lot of patchwork on the drywall, existing damage and whatnot. We painted the walls, we painted the ceilings. The fellas right now are working in 2 of the bedrooms, completing basically what's been completed here. The main reason for my visit today is in regards to the electrical. There's quite a large amount of electrical work that has to be done here. I'm going to explain it a little bit, and I've brought in one of our electricians to explain it better, but he really knows his stuff, and I'll kind of give cliff notes on the more detailed stuff that he's going to talk about. So let's go over to the kitchen and take a look at some of the issues that are happening. This is what the source of the loss was originally. In fact, it's dripping a little bit today, but the electrical in this home is completely not to code anymore. They have circuits being shared that are supposed to be what we call home run, meaning each outlet has its own wires going from here back to the electrical panel, where it's on a breaker on that end. So this one here is for the dishwasher, this one here is for the disposer, and they're on a shared circuit. That's not allowed anymore. Additionally, the outlets throughout the kitchen are not GFI, they're improper and they have to be replaced.
You see it's coming red and black. Okay, the home run for this circuit is gonna be black is for the dishwasher, and the red is for the disposal. But they have just only one neutral here, you see? It's shared. Okay, so what's going on right now? We need to run the circuit to there, and just only one neutral is for this plug, and one neutral is for this plug too. You know? So it's black and red. I'm sorry, red and white, and one neutral for disposal.
So like back at the panel, that's one of the shared circuits where you've got the 2 switches, but it needs to be all by itself.
That's right, sir. You have, in the kitchen, you have 2 circuits with GFI, and the GFI protect the other receptacles.
I see.
For that reason, the GFI has it 4 wires.
Well, one how come that one doesn't have the little...
Because they know has it.
Oh, this...
They know has it.
When you're done, this will be a GFI with the...
Of course. It's going to be a GFI for one line, for one circuit, and the other GFI for other circuit.
So, this, we can push that just to test and make sure that it's functioning.
Look that. Right here is correct wire. You press here, it's jumper. So when the heat jumper, that stuff, that's supposed that you don't got power and the receptacles. And you see, all of one is working. You see? Look that. All of one is working. This one, let me put it back. Let me see if it, okay. That is the best example that we can show that GFI protect this one.
I see.
Okay, but that's suppose you protect this one, the GFI protect this one and protect that one up there behind you, and that receptacle. But you don't got that stuff.
The same is true for many old electrical outlets that seem to have been retired and haven't been properly closed up, so they're currently a fire damage. You have too many outlets that are being shared on one circuit for the little appliances that we put on the countertop, your coffee maker, your mixer, toaster, things of that nature. So we have to run additional lines for those. the microwave, for example, this is, you know, it's not right. That has to be done properly. That's another one that has to have a home run back to the breaker. Same for the refrigerator, same for the microwave. When you look at this, this is the plug for the range, but the range is over here, not over here. So they must have broken into a cabinet to reach this outlet. That's improper, so we have to fix that, move it to where it needs to be so that it's not inside of a cabinet.
This receptacle is inside the cabinet.
Right.
That's not right.
It has to be retired.
It's have to retire and have to, that's suppose everything is gonna be here, you see? And look that, scaling and lighting, that stuff like this, you know? So, this receptacle, one comparison, this receptacle is gonna be, right here is the one circuit, and right here is the other circuit. Jumping to this receptacle is gonna be with this line. Okay? Every circuit is gonna be jumper and inside the kitchen. So I trying to explain to you is you got two circuits for the appliances. Two circuits.
For countertop
For
appliance.
countertop appliances, you have two circuits. That receptacle and the switches is not gonna be. That is illegal. That is a violation. Okay, so we need to take it out this thing. So we need to move that stuff and separate for the switch and separate for the receptacle. It's not gonna be in the same position. That's a violation.
And it's a concrete wall. Do you have to jackhammer
Yes, of
that
course.
to get your box to fit in that
To
space?
fit inside the space, because if you see through the box, in
It's
this
already
moment,
sticking out.
it's sticking out. So we need to fix it, that stuff.
So at the end of the day, in this kitchen, it results in 4 new dedicated lines that have to go back to the breaker.
The kitchen, the stuff is gonna be here, the microwave is gonna be here. That thing, somebody do the job and leave it that stuff like a Johnson box. That's not right. So we need to rewire, take it off all this stuff and leave it everything with access with that stuff. For that reason, we need to fix the whole kitchen. Look that. Look that. Check it. You don't got box, you don't got anything there. If that's supposed this one is for a microwave.
And this, all of these rules are in regards to preventing fires.
Of course, preventing fires.
Right.
That's for that reason. The old companies, when you take it off the cabinets and you want to do the renew kitchen, they enforce that you do it right, because maybe in the past they do it and it's working, but it's not right. For that reason, the city, they wanted that everything is gonna be R4 breakers. That's the new article that they have said at this moment. Like 3 years ago, they started with that point about this enforce.
Right. So the thing with the arc faults, how long have the arc faults been around? It's like 2 years?
No, it's more than 2 years. It's gonna be 3 or 4 years. It's gonna be
Right.
it
So
started.
and the reason for the arc fault is that over time, you know, as these age, things happen. Like they may be getting rubbed against by vibrations, or there might be bugs or rodents that could make what was originally a good connection fail, or the insulation around the wires
Of course.
becomes degraded, and these new arc faults can detect minor problems and trip it before it turns into a fire. That's the bottom line reason for it.
That's the reason, because the R4 breakers is more quickly, more fast, they trip the breaker for any problem in the line.
You've evaluated this and you've determined that you need to do how many new hardwire runs
4
to the
circuits.
breaker?
We want to run the 4 circuits more. We want a dedicated line for the microwave, dedicated line for the disposal, one dedicated line for the GFIs in the line for one appliance. And we wanna, because this line, I remember this line is working with receptacles in the living room.
I see.
So they take the power for that stuff. So I explained that thing. It's working, but it's not working properly.
So what would be your most economical way of doing that? Are you going to go through these walls into the bedroom? Are you going to go through the attic?
That is the best way. We need to open maybe right here one hole, and we're trying to run the wires for this part and go inside the attic and go up there and try to feed the wires inside the new panel.
I'm going to take you back to the breaker and you'll see what my problem is. I don't have enough space there. Let's go. So like I said, we need 4 dedicated lines coming back here. In many cases, we'll come to a breaker and there will be available spots for us to add new breakers. In this particular case, we only have this one blank spot, but we need 4. So the end result is that this panel has to be replaced with a panel that has more spots for more breakers. So what they're gonna probably do is do all of their electrical work. We'll have to tear down all the drywall in the kitchen, and they'll go up into the ceiling and run the wires into the new panel coming through the ceiling. So it's quite an involved job. It's going to take a full week of 3 electricians.
The reason for what we need to replace the electrical panel is because when we want to feed the new breaker, the R4 breaker, this size here, we don't have a space more in the panel. So if I put the new breaker, I have one circuit flying in the panel because we don't have more space.
Are you saying that these are no longer allowed, that you have to have single ones? So this needs to turn into 2?
Yes, we need to
So
full
you
size.
need, like, for this one, for example, you could change that to an arc fault breaker for 1 circuit, because this is currently 2 circuits.
Yes.
And then you could use this one for the 2nd circuit. But now you need another 3 spaces
More.
for new arc faults, and you don't have any more blanks
That's
to
right.
put them. Okay.
So that's
So-
the reason that we need to full size, or we need more bigger panel. Because in this moment, this panel, he has a lot of breakers, half breakers with 2 circuits. So we don't have more space for add other
Right.
new circuit.
But this panel, I mean, while it's got paint on it and everything, it looks kind of modern. But it's not okay because they have not home run certain circuits from the kitchen.
Yes,
like
sir.
what? Like the microwave?
Like the microwave, if the microwave and the disposal
Okay.
is in the same line, we need to run the new line for leave just only 1 circuit, 1 line for every appliance.
So what else has to be on its own circuit? Like the dishwasher?
The dishwasher, the microwave, the 2 circuit for appliances, and the cooktop, the cook fan, and if they has a 1 cooler, whatever circuit in the kitchen is gonna be dedicated lines and R4 breakers.
Okay.
That is mandatory for the code.
The refrigerator too.
Yes, sir.
I could have a panel from 2 years ago and it might not have arc fault breakers in here. So why does the city make people replace a relatively new breaker with the new arc faults? What if they can't afford it?
It's a force that we need to replace the panel is because if the owner of the house has it 1 panel, but this panel has more space for run the new circuits and put the full size breakers, We don't have more choice than replace the panel and put the new panel. Because when the inspector came and he not see the breakers in the panel, we wanna fail the inspection. So for that reason, we need to replace the panel.
How do you now, in a finished home, get those dedicated the corrections that you have to do? How do you get it over here from that far away?
We need
Through
to-
the ceiling? Through, like,
need
you
to-
chop up the walls?
We need to open the wall, and we need, if they has an attic, that's perfect. We trying to run the wire for inside the attic, but if they don't have an attic, we need to open the walls for run the circuit. Open the ceiling.
Okay, so
That's the only way.